Hello, everybody, and welcome back to ESO Daily. I'm your host, Mysticraven. All right, guys. So, I missed out on some of the double XP event due to the PvP. I wanted to get it done yesterday, didn't do it. But I'm going to be leveling up the old-fashioned way. I have to get like a bonus for the random. Still a little low, but I have 25 minutes left on my XP boost. We're going to go ahead and take advantage of that, and I have two experience scrolls. Just going in as a tank, just leveling stuff. Let's go ahead and create a party real quick. Alright, so anyways, I'm trying to get the Sorc tank done. It's been a minute. Let me go ahead and make sure everybody can hear me. I think I need to get a new mic. I can't hear my mic, but every time I check it and test it, it looks pretty good. So, just going to go on here, make sure everything sounds good. Check out the comment too. Okay, like mic check. Sounds good. It's a little low, but hey Yuki. What the hell, Mystic? How goes? Pretty good, Storm. Pretty good. It's a little low, I think. I think I can turn it up a little bit in my settings. But my manual availability is just not what it used to be there. So it's forming group. Let me go ahead and turn up that mic here in the settings a little bit. Okay. Looks good. All right. I want to make sure it's prioritized right. Don't need to be in that party chat. Okay, I've already done this, I believe. Yeah, so I'm just, like I said, it's a random. Let me make sure my skills is in for my taunt and stuff. Yeah, we're good. Get that going on.
Direfrost of Falkreath. The record vault of Greenhelm, I discovered that
Now, I already have a Sorc tank on PC, but I wanted to do an Imperial. So
witch hunting.
got a couple of builds I want to do with this. Get at it. All right. Don't know where the healer's at. Probably up here. Yep. All right. Not a stam. once in. This is not an ideal, it's just normal leveling up, getting it. Switch to stand pot. Back up at the shield. Reapply the taunt, debuff, block. Looks good. Now, shields on a Sorc tank are way different than any other tank because it scales magicka versus health. Always something to remember when you're dealing with Sorc tanks. Unless you use Bone Shield. Always apply the CC. Tanks with CC are very, very useful. Takes me back to my days of WoW when I could shield charge everything. Taunt them with the shield charge. Shield.
Gate to the crypt is locked. Probably opened by the pair of pressure plates here. Me with no companion. I can't light the flame.
Alright.
Regrettable, but I'll return. I've yet to explore the summit.
Don't need anything really in here but the help towards my ledgerman. Full bag, I don't need shit anyways. Been collecting gear. There's that ledgerman. Grab. Let's go. Stack them up. Got 2 to 3 builds I'm going to be using with this character. So, definitely going to come in handy. Don't know if anybody needs the quest. We'll hold up. Gives me a minute to go ahead and slot more potions of stamina.
You should not have lit the flame. The mistress will delight in a new slave.
Try to stack them up. Bullshit. Oh, great. Worried about any of this shit. 12 minutes left. Let's see if I can get that bonus. So I got to get my Warhorn on this tune. Got a couple, like I said, I got a couple sets already for him set up. I will be running a dragon build, of course. All right. Keep the stamina.
Frozen soul will haunt this place.
Just debuff. Get shields. Resistance up. It's normal. It's not like it's going to be real difficult. Go out. Aggro the ads. Buff still. Got close. Other ads will be coming in. Drop the silence on them when they do. They do. Bingo. Okay. So, like I said, this isn't a fixed thing at the moment. Okay. So we're level 40. Boom, boom. Got 10 more levels. So I'll probably get this done by tonight or tomorrow. Just hammering it away. Just, you know, trying to get it completely out of the way as fast as possible. Let me go ahead, check out comments. Morning, Panther. The greatest race in ESO is Nord. I like Nord. I love Nord. Hey, Robert. Morning, Lewis. Well, not morning. Yeah, it's afternoon. Got a late start. Hey, Shorty. What's up? Happy New Year. Thank you. I feel like crap, Mystic. I'm sorry, Storm. Definitely sorry about that. Hey, yo, your DC pulled it off on PS4, though, yesterday. Man, I have never PvP'd so long in my life. I was like, really, how do people do this all day? I don't get it. Like, wow. I'm used to like PvPing 2 hours and ducking, you know? I'm like, holy crap. So, I hope I sound okay. Let me go ahead and play this. It sounds okay. I was debated about trying to get a new mic and, you know, but it's just my volume adjustment. What's up, Zionide's in the house? Yes, it's my dude. Happy New Year, Zi. Zeno crashing out my account and never stepping back into it. Had my family threatened over kills on shore yesterday. Oh my God, really, Zeno? Dude, that's crazy, man. Dude, that is crazy. That is nuts, man. I'm so sorry about that, dude. Sorry to hear that. But anyways, I'm going to go scrap some stuff. So here's you know, what I'm going to be doing for the builds. Well, I'm going to be making a generator build. Okay? So it's a preview for all you guys out there. So I'm going to take Dragon and I'm going to take Shock's Exoskeleton. The problem with Sorc tanks have limited bar space, right? Because of utilities. You got to use utilities, your shields, everything else. So one of the effects that I could take out is the slash, right? Even though, you know, it applies the vulnerability, that minor heroism you're going to be missing. So we're going Blood Spawn. We're going Dragon. Now keep in mind, Sorcs, right? We're going to get into this. Sorcs get that nice big boost to 15% reduction for Power Stone. Ultimate reduction, 15. Add the Dragon, another 15. 30% reduction. Add Bloodspawn. Add Decisive. Anytime you generate Ultimate, right, you have a chance with Decisive to generate additional Ultimate points. That's why you want the Shock's Exoskeleton along with Bloodspawn. Now, typically I use that with the Broker build on the PC, right? But I exchange. This build's going to be slightly different than that because we're going Imperial for stamina base properties for block. Get the reduction up there. And basically, you know, we need the absorb magic for the block reduction. Yeah, right? So take that, get those block reductions up there, get the shields up there, because keep in mind, our shielding system is different on Sorcs than anything else. Get the cost reduction. Warhorn uptime on Sorcs. Sorc tanks is insanely higher than any other tank in game. Even if you don't use Dragon. Even if you didn't, which is a magical property tank set, which works out really good for this build, for my build options. It's great because the simple fact of it is I can get 3 war horns in to 1 with the build, from the calculations that I'm doing. So I should be able to get 3 to 1 on this build with the generator build. So that's kind of where I'm going at. It's you know, pretty much basically a tank that can basically throw down Warhorn rotations very fast, keep mitigation up through the shielding system. It'll work out nice. I'm really looking forward to this build. My Nord Stamplar can beat any Stam DK. I believe it's Storm. You're pretty beast on that. Oh, dude. Okay. Storm, did you try that one build too? Got to jump out, man. Doing some stuff at home before stream later. Keep it up, dude, and Happy New Year to all. Thank you, Zai, buddy. If you are not subscribed to Zionide, go over, hit the subscribe button, show some love to this man. That's my dude. That's my homeboy. I just seen a video from Leofa who talked about how tanks should not use absorb magic because the numbers are not accurate and can be replaced with other abilities. The problem of it is this. A lot of the times, you don't need absorb magic with different builds. Like DK doesn't need absorb magic, right? Doesn't. Not every build can say that, right? For block cost reduction. DKs get block cost reduction in their passives, right? So it doesn't make sense to go ahead and use absorb magic when you can throw another utility. Sorc tanks are different. They don't have a block reduction in their passive. Absorb magic becomes a lot better for block cost reduction in this for Sorcs. The Warden. Which build was it? The Warden? Yeah, how'd that go? Did you try it out? Work okay? I'm hoping it did. That's and Lewis, in most of the cases, that's right, depending on each class. Once again, we can't say every rule applies to every class in every role because you have to offset those numbers. That's what it is. It's just offsetting the number of values that you're missing in passives. But, you know, Leofa has a point with DK and certain applications. And I'm not going to say that Leofa doesn't, but the problem of it is you cannot apply one set rule to every aspect. You just can't. So, yeah, it did. The Mundus change did help. Thank you, Storm. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that, man. So glad to hear that. So, I can't believe I actually forgot to finish leveling this dude because he's been just kind of sitting there. I bought the extra character slot. I had 13 character slots. I'm like, well, you know, my crowns are up. I guess I should get this done. I'll keep the all this stuff, but I'll sell all this. We're going with like I said, a couple different build configurations. So I'm looking forward to it. Keep the XP ones, sell everything else. Just dumping down a little bit here. Get rid of that. That should be good to go. Okay, so I got 36 minutes. Let's go to Activity Finder, see if I opened up any new dungeons that I need to do. Okay. Did that. Did Tempests. I don't know if I did Volenfeld, but I didn't do Blackheart Haven, Blessed Crucible, or Selene Jet, so we'll get those skill points out of the way. Check out the comments before I queue it. So I am assuming you saw the same video. No, I don't watch any. I don't watch Lil. I don't watch a lot of other content creators. But when you mentioned it, I knew where it was kind of referencing. You know, based on the premise. So wasn't sure how trustworthy that is. I always tell people I don't know. I don't go off their math. I go off of what I do. The simple fact of it is I can create errors, but I do trial and test per build to maximize each build's performance. That's what I do. So I'm not dismissing anybody's credibility in that aspect unless it's something that becomes toxic and it affects players' gameplay with that class. Then that's when I step in and I usually go, whoa, time out. Let's review the numbers. My sampler I run two-handed PvE wrecking blow spam is life. I bet. Because he said no endgame tank use absorb magic. I was kind of mind blown. Well, it depends. In AA, absorb magic's actually a better scenario in AA. Majority of the time, you're right. Majority of the time, you don't need absorb magic in endgame. But in AA, it comes in handy because all that, most of that damage, I think there's one encounter that doesn't. But most of that is magic damage. Is mostly magic. So absorb magic comes in handy in that scenario. Now that is bull. What is bull? It's all about like the damage. You got to keep in mind the damage type you're going to be encountering. So let me go in here. Okay. We're going to absorb spell projectiles cast at us, right? So if we're getting any type of magic damage that's being projected at us, now that's not melee, but guess what? Magic damage is mostly projectiles unless it's haunting curse or something like that. Any type of spell projection is going to be absorbed, healing. This is probably why in AA, absorb magic is probably one of your better skills to slot in that scenario. Just because you're going to mitigate that damage. Even if you don't need the block reduction, you're going to get basically a free absorb and a heal from the cast as a tank. So it's all base scenario. That's what you're looking at majority of the time. That's why it kills me when a lot of people, want to assume that majority of the time, I don't need to do this. But they're taking other equations out of the mix, and as when I raided in other games, we did the same thing. We'd have to slot out skills in our rotations as tanks. Well, not really have a rotation, but use abilities we typically wouldn't see in other raids because of a mechanic. So, and this game's not without that. So if you can understand the scenario in which you're being placed in, you can optimize or reduce the damage that you take as a tank. Okay, my food ran out and I'm out of food. That's a bummer. Oh, it's normal. Shouldn't need the food buff considering. We're looking pretty good. Not something I would typically recommend. We'll do one more and then whatever. But I'll get this up there by today or tomorrow. Now I'll be putting the builds together. So by the end of the week or next week or as early as next week, I'll have these builds out. A lot of tanks I know run absorb magic. Oh, and I agree with you, Storm. Like, I don't know. Like, you can offset that, right? So I don't know why a lot of people want to say you don't need it. I think it's a preference situation and how your timing blocks. Obviously reduction is going to always be a key, but like I said, DK has block reduction, but does that to say a DK doesn't need absorb magic? I don't agree. I think if depending on the scenario, absorb magic comes in handy. But it's not always the better option depending on the situation. So even if I slot it and I get the block reduction, am I going to use the ability? Most of the time, if it's physical damage, no. But if it's going to be a spell damage effect, I'm going to mitigate that damage, man, the best way possible. Remember that, different effects, different damage effects are going to affect mitigation. And the reason I really know this, even prior to this game, is I main tanked a lot of games, and that mitigation is always key. What's the encounter detail? What detail does the encounter have, and how do you mitigate that type of damage? By mitigating that type of damage effectively, you're saving your healer's resources. That's key to party healing. So the tank takes the most damage. If the tank doesn't know how to mitigate damage properly, what ends up happening, it draws too much from healer's resources. Most of the time when you see wipes happen, It's because healers' resources are depleted. So tanks are very important. Very, very, very important. Problem of it is, a lot of people just overlook those little things, man, and it will cost you an end game. A lot of times, like I said, I only run end game if I need something specifically. If I'm looking for something specifically and I want to do it and I want to get it out of the way, I'll go for it. I'll grab it. Boom. Done. I got my sets. I got my gear. I'm happy with it. Okay, wait for that other deeps. Ghost is in here. I know Ghost is PvP here. Looks like I might have done this quest. Yeah, it's gonna hurt not having that spam. Just run a little bit.
Time to cut you up and feed
Oh.
you to the shock.
Weird lag. Okay, we're gonna go up here. Come on, come on.
Share, but
Okay. I got that book. Another thing is like picking up resistance. How are you picking up resistance? Through skill, gear? No, there's different ways to pick up resistance too. Going in.
You're nothing but short. Time to die.
Was there a heavy sack? Could have swore I just saw a heavy sack, but oh well. Okay, I'm going to use a range pull. Get it up here. Get the shields. Debuff and taunt. Leave up heavy.
Let me see that thing. Here we go. This should do it. Finally, this nightmare will come to an end.
Are you insane, Shifty?
Shifty? You'll kill us all!
That's the point, friend. This is no way for a man to live.
Now you know the truth, my friend. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. I hate these bug ones. You usually skip them. Just skip them. Or not. Stuff there. Okay, just gonna go ahead. Interrupt him. There's a chest. Look at that placement. Alright. Once again, this is where absorb magic kind of helps. I already know it's going to deal magic damage. How you manage mitigation is just key in this game. It's key in every MMO, but this game definitely got to pay attention. Okay. Looks good. There's a heavy sack. Nope. I hate these little shadow dudes. Where'd it go? Once again, magic damage. Just hit the absorb. Do, 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 do. Some lockpicks. Once again, range pull. Kiting him over. Come on. That healer's lost. Like, what the hell? Buff once again. Okay, that'll finish him off. And that's it. Pretty much in a nutshell. Still a skeleton though. Alright, so pretty much like I said, Sorc Tanks is kind of like, you know, I love the Sorc Tank. And when the build's done, it's going to be pretty nasty. Like I said, a lot of people just kind of underestimate Shock's exoskeleton. With this build, it's going to be really friggin' nasty when I'm done with this build. Oh, Happy New Year, Clint. Thank you, thank you. Oh, Mystic, I got the skin for from the crates. Oh, grats, man. Grats. Mystic, charge your weapon. I know I need to. But, you know, I'm going to be scrapping out this gear in less than 10 levels, so I'm going to charge the weapon, get some food on him, get this leveled up, kind of finish him out. You know, less than 9 levels to go or whatever, so I'll get him done. I already got the gear for him, so it's kind of nice. Sorc Tanks, not bad. I like Nightblade better for tanking. I love Nightblade tanks. Nightblade tanks are beast. Sorc Tanks, you know, everyone plays different. That's why I like them. That's why I like every class in each role. They play different. They are viable. You have to approach them different because of those passives, so the gear, you know, makes it different. But I agree. Nightblade tank, love it. Heals the feels, ESO. Problem is there is no engulfing on boss. On what? On the ability? On the engulfing flames? For the DK? So you're talking about major fracture? Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you're talking about with the engulfing flames heals? Because engulfing flame applies to major fracture. Trying to figure it out, if that's what you're referring to. I just bought this game. Could you guys help me? Well, I do sponsor sponsor Fridays, where I customize player builds and stuff on Fridays for sponsors. So, you know, keep that in mind there, NATO. Welcome. I have a lot of referral content, like a lot of content that covers a lot of things. Plus, a lot of my viewers, they know what they're talking about. So if you have any questions, just post in chat. A lot of the viewers here will help you out as best as they can, and I'll help answer any questions. Like, help me level up everything in general. I don't like, you know, farm people up. The best way I would suggest is, like, you can go world farming. If you're going to be a stamina user, go zombie farming. That gets your fighters guild up there fast. Then do randoms. That'll boost up XP. Then on top of it, make sure you do those quest lines, get those skill points. Yeah, Leofa was saying that absorb magic does not give the bonuses that it displays on the tooltip. Numbers are off. He showed his numbers in the video. That's why I brought it up. Well, yeah, like I said, I mean, the thing about it is, like, once again, even if we're talking about block reduction cost, and mind you, I mean, take that into consideration on block reduction, right? Even if you pull it aside from block reduction, is absorb magic a good counter for content? Depends. Really depends. So I always tell people I use absorb magic in scenario situations, just even without block reduction cost. But I will get into a video just talking about that. I guess I should do that. And me and my one friend was talking about the diminishing value on reduction. And there's diminishing return in everything in this game. Same thing with resistance. If you cap over, it's pointless. Okay, thank you, dude. I subbed. Definitely, NATO. And like I said, you know, we'll help you out to the best of our ability. I'll be cutting this video, but it's, you know, it is. Wanted to see if you heard or came across anything like that in your experience. I don't use, like, absorb magic on DK. I don't use absorb magic on DK unless, you know, I experience something because of block reduction. I already know there's going to be a certain effect that has a diminishing value on block reduction. Diminishing returns is everywhere in this game, and I know that. But like I said, every class is going to be different, so I build different of those scenarios, and I use abilities based on encounter is how I usually play. But I don't hold block either. I'm not a block holder, so I use blocks periodically, and I weave in heavy. So do I need that much block reduction to begin with? Well, it depends on how much stamina I have. So, hey, Mustang, what's up? What's up? Had some fun PvPing this weekend. It was awesome. PvPing this weekend, I think maybe on multiple platforms, was insane. I had a blast. I PvP'd, I think, the longest yesterday I've ever PvP'd in this game to date, and it was pretty good. I had a blast as well. In case you want a reference, his video title is Why You Should Not Use Absorb Magic. Oh, I could imagine. Definitely, I'll be taking a look. We'll do another video. I don't like necessarily when people say when it's a golden rule, because in this game, math, it all comes back to the numbers, and that is one of the major things you have to take a look at, because most content creators do not pay attention to diminishing values. That's the problem. They apply it to one class, they don't look at the numbers, and then all of a sudden it bites them in the ass because they look like, oh shit, I didn't take in consideration this scenario, and most of the time that's the case. So it's like, okay, there are always bugs, so you can't also, you know, take a look at that too. Is there a bug occurring? Well, you have to take a look. You have to, you know, inspect that for yourself. But block reduction, you know, unless you throw it up in your metrics, how much block's costing you, from that perspective, you wouldn't know, right? You're getting the cost reduction on block, right? Not until block occurs will you see the reduction cost, right? And you'd have to pay attention to metrics to say, how much did block cost me without absorb magic? How much does cost reduction? What's the cost reduction when absorb magic is slotted? It has nothing to do with mitigation at that point, because absorb magic is about reduction cost. It's not about mitigation on block. It's as much as it is reduction cost. So when you block is increased by 8%, The reduced cost is by 8. That's the big deal. Is like, how much is reduction costing you? You know, at that point. How do you measure the reduction cost? And the only way you can do that is from metric standpoint. So even by 8%, say it's like added like resistance. I'm at you know, a threshold of reduction or block mitigation. What's my reduction cost now? So that's the big one, you know, because like I said, DKs get block cost reduction, right, in passive, and how it affects mitigation. Sorks, not so much. So reduction becomes key, especially since Sorks also have to use a lot more magicka for mitigating effects with their shield systems. Unless, like I said, you use Bone Shield. That's a whole different ballgame. So different ways to approach it, but I'd have to take a look and see if the metrics can determine cost reduction. If my metrics can, you know, show cost reduction, that's significant as well. I'm not saying, you know, like I said, on my DK, I don't always use Absorb Magic. It's situational. It's going to be situational based on content. So because that mitigating top effect to basically absorb a spell projectile and heal saves healers resources. And that's important as well. So a lot of tanks just disregard that and they think it's all one scenario. It's not, I assure you. But anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I will be working on this, like I said, by the end of the week this week or early next week. I will have my first build, the generator. It will be out. It's a Sork tank build. You guys are going to love it. Will not be disappointed. I promise you guys. All right. Thank you guys once again for the support. NATO, once again, I do sponsor Friday. So if you want a specific build and you sponsor, I will go ahead and do a build layout. I do 2 every Friday for sponsors. All right. And I appreciate all the support. I love you guys. You guys are the best. Once again, though, Lewis, I want to thank you for bringing that to my attention. Gives me something to plug in the PTS, take a look at, and see if we can get that cost reduction and take a look at it in further, you know, dissect it a little bit further. But once again, thank you. Thank all of you. I'm Mysticraven, this ESO Daily. Thank you for watching. And once again and always, have a nice day.